Well, now, even my own thing that I've had for, God, I've had those same settings for at least a decade, like forever.
Yeah.
And now they're becoming difficult for me to read. So I'm just like, oh no. I'm in the same boat you are, Demon. Maybe. I hope not. But
And I'm already in that boat, so welcome. You two get to have the experience where you're like laying in bed with your glasses on, trying to watch something, going, "Why is it so blurry?"
Yeah.
And then tilt your head up a little bit, going, "Oh, because I was looking through the I need to read close by, the invisible line on the glasses, going, oh hey, things are clear now. That's way better." Yeah, no, it's fun. Getting old is awesome.
Do you ever meet somebody who's like farsighted? That's crazy to me, right? Like my wife, when I go to show her something on my phone, she pulls it away like further than arm length to see it. I'm like, good Lord, man. What are you, an eagle? What the hell?
My son is the only one with 20/20 vision, and he gets mocked for it.
Phoenix?
Yeah, my only son.
Oh, I thought you had an older son.
No, that's
Maybe
you.
I was thinking about me.
That's you.
I really appreciate how you both came to that at the same moment. That was great.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, so welcome to the show. I guess he's probably going to roll the intros right about now.
No, I wasn't going to.
Well, what about now?
Nope.
Intros. Who needs intros? Who needs to know that I'm Peroty, that the British man's Nitedemon, and then the Floridian man's Respawn, who is not a GCX this week. I will not be seeing pictures of him next to Bife or Mactix or anybody else.
Nope. I was working.
He's a letdown, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's right there. Every year he
refuses.
He refuses to go.
No, sir, excuse me. If we ever get to the point to where I can quit my 911 job to do this exclusively, I will be at every one of those. Okay, we're not there yet.
You have to network. You are the person that's closest to the networking point. You should be the networking anchor for us.
I should be the network. I was over by Peroty this week.
Well, no, you're at home, which means you are near GCX. Which means it's your responsibility. Now. Yeah, it's yours. GCX is now.
Yeah,
you should be there now. Yeah. Well, you should be rubbing shoulders with Bungie at this point. Not here talking about pups and talking Destiny with us. Should be Peroty and I.
Puppies or Destiny? Oh.
No.
Make some people angry.
No, it should be just be Peroty and I doing the show, and you should be live at GCX.
With my phone mic, like usual, like at the airports.
Actually,
100%.
I think
tracking
GCX
people down.
Is only half an hour down the road. Go now. If you leave now, you can get there.
Yeah.
First of all,
no, for the people. Come on, for the people, for the fans.
Can't do it.
Now I'm going to roll the titles.
Titles, yeah, that's what it was. Titles.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Rager, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So, welcome to the show this week. I am Guardian, #0078.
Who are you?
I am joined by Guardian, #0175, and Guardian, #8008.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, so have you now? I
haven't. No, I was just joking.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I had seen all this, because that was basically the socials update for the week of whoopsie, we broke everyone's names, and I'm going, earlier in the week my name was okay, but I haven't looked since, so there's no telling what my name actually is today.
Yeah. So if you weren't aware of this, Bungie with the update this past Tuesday, accidentally kind of
censored tons of people's names.
Yeah, censored lots of people's names, including your boy Respawn. I thought you'd be quite happy about this. ZK Mushroom. ZK Mushroom got a Guardian name reset.
I have nothing against ZK Mushroom. I'm just upset that Bungie thought it was a good idea to put me against him.
I didn't say you did. I was just saying, you know. So yeah, there's been a lot of problems with some Guardians that can't be named because they've had a name change.
Because they have no name, yeah.
We're not sure. We don't want to call them anymore.
So yeah, if you see a Guardian hashtag whatever running around the tower, it might not because they had an inappropriate name. It might be just because Bungie messed up this week.
Oh, that's incredible. That's wonderful.
But no, I'm fine. You guys, I'm guessing are fine. But I did use your actual hashtags for your thing. So apart from mine, because I couldn't remember what mine is. I think mine's something unforgettable, but you know.
But apparently has been forgotten.
Yeah, but you know, I logged in on Tuesday, and I was doing like the Eververse stuff, and then as I was doing the Eververse stuff, all the apps went off again. I was like, great, thank God I got all that written down and did the stuff for it, and then saw all the stuff about there's name issues, and I thought, do I log back in and see if my name's still my name?
Don't do it.
No, nobody's going to take offense to Nitedemon. They might take offense to no one respawns in real life.
There's some Christians out there that will take offense to the demon part of it.
No, demons are fine. Demons are fine.
We'll just see what happens. We'll just come back later in the week and go, am I still who I am? And if not, then, I'll be somebody different. Who's to say?
Yeah. So this week's a kind of really short week for kind of Destiny news. There's no drama as yet. Touch wood. I'm hanging on to the wood as we speak.
God, I hate when you say that.
Except for the name changes. Other than
no. Yeah.
No
all the names internal Destiny drama.
Right.
At Bungie. It's gone mute at this point.
Because everyone's in Florida this week. They're all out. They're all in Florida hobnobbing and rubbing shoulders with each other going, everything's fine. Because
they're all out. I mean, all 4 that's left, those guys.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was wondering. How awkward is that going to GCX after that's happened and not being able to talk about it?
I don't know how awkward it would be, but
what do you have to lose at this point now?
Your job, if you're still there.
I mean, odds are the people that are going to get fired have already been fired. So
yeah, and I think we should pour one out for the poor person that got fired. That every Friday at reset told us what was happening next week in Destiny. Because that person has obviously been fired because for the last 3 weeks, I haven't had, this is what's happening this week in Destiny. So I've kind of had to look at kind of triumphs and things like that to kind of gauge what like the Crucible modes are. So hopefully next week there should be a mayhem because that's what the triumph or the challenges is for next week for mayhem. So that hopefully should be kind of set in stone. Control is normally control unless they change it up for Sparrow Control, which I can't kind of help. It's still control, but with Sparrows. But then we did have kind of an update to Sparrow Control in the 12, which we'll kind of get to. And then any bonuses is, again, it's on a rotation, but they do kind of change it up. But then the person that normally changes it up or gets it wrong or gets it right might not be there. So it might still be right. I don't know anymore. They did change the dungeon on me, though, this week. The dungeon for this week should have been the Prophecy dungeon, and they changed it for the Shattered Throne. So it leaked Prophecy and went to Shattered. So I'm hoping they've made a mistake and it's now going to be Prophecy this coming week. If not, I do apologise. It's not my fault. But would you like me to kind of tell you apprehensively what is happening next week in Destiny?
I think I
would like you want to tell us apprehensively what's happening next week in Destiny?
Well, I've already recorded it, so I might as well put it in here.
I think next week you should just have a dartboard and throw darts at things and go, I think this is the dungeon this week is going to be.
No, that's what Destiny does. We can't have 2 professionals doing that.
Whatever the dartboard says goes.
Most of the things are on a set rotation, and it's quite easy if you've got it written down to tell people what's happening for the rotations for next week. But like the Crucible things, sometimes it's up in the air. They're like, oh, this week we'll do like a Sparrow Control. This week we'll do kind of Scorch. And it's like, well, that wasn't kind of the rotation that you were following, but okay, we'll go with it. Dungeons are normally kind of set in stone of this dungeon, this dungeon, this dungeon, this dungeon, unless we kind of had like last season, we had that Prophecy kind of let's have prophecy this week. Oh, and this week as well. And this week as well. Because we've got kind of new weapons going in there and you guys might want to have them.
And we're going to give you this dungeon, but whoops, that's broken. So we're going to change this dungeon and we're promise we're going to fix it by the next time it comes up with a rotation. Oh, we didn't. So surprise.
So yeah, here's what's happening this coming week, hopefully, in Destiny. This is your weekly rundown of the final shape, week 12, starting on August 20th. This week sees Destiny 2's summer event Solstice enter its third and final week, where Guardians have one more chance to conquer the EAZ Bonfire Bash event to earn some really cool loot, including the new Void Lightweight Frame Bow, Fortunate Star. This joins the crowning Duolog Rocket Launcher, something new hand cannon, and Compass Rose Shotgun. Also available from Act 2, we have the 3 new Battleground activities, Delve, Conduit, and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach executable in the Helm from Act 1. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shape's cooperative focus campaign mission this week will be Iconoclasm. The 12th Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the raid for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting you the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The featured Onslaught map this week will be Moth Yards, with a Fallen War Priest kicking off the boss rotation. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrevenge can be found in the Devilian Mists and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blind World features Taken Enemies and the Plague, Kragar. The Ascendant Challenger with the Chimera Garrison over in the Chamber of Starlight Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Fallen Council in Archer's Line. Nightmare hunts Zydron, Servitude, Tanix, Isolation, and Skolas, Pride. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Zydron and the Heretic Rocket Launcher. On Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. Days of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Taken, Cabal, and Zydron. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfectus armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 2. Scathelock, Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Code Duello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, Distant Terminus, Interference 6, Shepherd's Watch, and Annual Skate. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Last Chance, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense with the Father's Sin Void Sniper and Zyrich Scorn Raider as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is Breakneck, the Partition mission will be Ordnance, and the Vex incursion will be Umshire Park. The Master Salvation's Edge Raid Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Repository, called Balanced Diet. The Kurota's End Raid Challenge this week should be the 1st encounter, Entered the Abyss, called Conservation of Energy. The Root of Nightmares Raid Challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, Scission, called Crossfire. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Totems, called The Grass is Always Greener. The Vow the Disciple Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, The Upender, called Defense is Down. The Deep Zone Crypt Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Consecrated Mind, called Staying Alive. And the Last Wish Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Kali, called Summoning Ritual. Your pinnacle raid will be the Vault of Glass over in the Legends tab, with all challenges available for each encounter, with the exotic fusion rifle Vex Mythoclast being farmable from the final boss. The pinnacle dungeon will be the Prophecy over in the Legends tab, and the exotic mission rotator will be Operation Seraph's Shield, with the Revision 0 exotic pulse rifle being the main reward. The Season of the Seraph's weapon set, and Icarus weapon set, with the Warmind's Avatar armor set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and 0 Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Moon Activities, Blistering Fingers, Calibrate Long Range, Orchestral Performance, and Flourish of Power. Lost Sectors Tuesday Perdition on Europa, Wednesday Bunker E15 on Europa, Thursday Concealed Void on Europa, Friday the Confluxes on Nessus, Saturday Thrillodrome on Neptune, Sunday Hydroponics Delta on Neptune, and Monday Vel's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome. Our 12th featured Nightfall will see its face against Pykis of the House Salvation in the Exodus Crash over on Nessus, with the Scintillation Linear Fusion Rifle being the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 Control playlist will be Control, Mayhem in the Party Relentless playlist, Countdown in the 3v3 playlist, and Trials of Osiris at the weekend on Sirius Plaza, with the Shoyora's Wrath submachine gun as the featured adept weapon. Plus, for the first time this Friday at Reset, Zer will be offering a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 12th week of the Final Shape. So, what have you guys been up to this week in Destiny? Have you been grinding out some more Solstice for some more Solstice armor?
No, not the armor.
The weapons?
So Respawn.
Oh, try the weapons.
Have you?
Oh god,
have
not
you,
the bow disaster again.
Have you seen a single bow drop? Do you have a bow yet?
I'm getting the bows to drop, but it's like 1 or 2, and sometimes none per run, right? But I'm not getting the 8 9, 5 that everybody else is getting, you know? And it is the only thing that I want, you know?
I think that's just beautiful.
I think
It's
it's
not
karma.
I love that
What is
everyone.
karma?
I love that everyone in the world is complaining about the number of bows dropping, and Respawn's complaining on the opposite end of that, going, if I could just have a bow, please, Bungie, pretty please.
It's karma because you get everything you ever want going into dungeons and raids and getting all the exotics and things. So this
I
is
still don't have the latest raid and or
this is
dungeon
Bungie
exotics,
karma.
sir.
That's because you probably haven't done it as much. But
I've been
normally,
doing them. I've been doing them.
you get everything that you want.
I don't. Okay, first of all, I don't normally get everything I want. I get it eventually because I do it 3 times a week. You know,
Yeah.
It's not. No. You just saying that because you go through the 1 or 2 times and you don't get it. Like, oh, Respawn's so lucky; he gets it every time. Respawn puts in the work. Okay.
No, you've got that wrong, sir. I don't go in there at all.
Oh,
Step 1, putting in work. Now I'll pass. Thanks. I'm good.
Yeah. It's having the time to actually be able to do a raid and without getting bothered. You know, it's, unfortunate circumstances of kind of having a family, I guess. It's like you can play when you can play and you can play for this amount of time and then that's it.
Indeed.
But let me tell you, we were babysitting 2 nights this week, so I've heard all about the new Fortnite season.
Oh.
I know the new Fortnite season's started. I know it's Marvel themed. So yeah.
Joy! And we saw the video you posted in the van too. Everything through the lens of Fortnite.
Yeah, is that again? Is this? I assume if I say Fortnite, parents worldwide are just rolling their eyes and recoiling in varying degrees of horror. Is this it's so interesting seeing like the entire world through one particular lens. Every piece of media. Well, that's the guy from Fortnite. Oh, that's the thing from Fortnite. Which I just think is fun. That like your cultural touchstone is like one thing, and then through that thing, all of the things must filter.
To be fair, though, aren't we all like that? Like, I view everything through either like a movie I've seen or a song that I've heard, right? And I don't think that's uncommon. It's just that this generation, they don't really watch movies or things like that. They're video games, So same concept, different generation, I think. I mean, how often do you see something or hear something and it triggers a core memory about a movie or a song? You know what I'm saying? So
you're assuming I have a memory good enough to trigger such things, but yes, point taken.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you bringing up Fortnite is that the Fortnite when it first started was a lot more it was PvE only, and then they kind of went into the battle royale thing, and it's now kind of taken over. The PvP side has taken over.
It was PvE. What was the E in PvE?
The whole game was PvE. When I got it, I've got the like starter bundle pack, and it's PvE. It's
tower defense basically.
Yeah, tower defense.
What was the enemies? Other like humanoids
zombies.
or
no, zombies. It's
zombies. Oh wow!
All defending against zombies. You build your bases. You lay traps, and you can kind of like do various different things, like look after your base, or kind of move something like on a train track, build a train track, and defend it as it's kind of moving along.
So is it one of those reset games? Because the name Fortnite implies something happens every 2 weeks, right? So was it one of those you build up as much as you can, and in 2 weeks it gets reset kind of thing?
Well, it was quicker than that in the actual kind of, and it's still actually going. You can still play the PvE side of it, but it's very minimal. They still do events every now and then, but the PvP side is kind of really the thing that has kind of blown up and really kind of excelled that game in like various different directions, whereas Destiny has kind of gone the other way. They've kind of leaned more into the PvE side of it, and the PvP side has kind of like suffered all this time, and the game hasn't kind of gone in the kind of stratosphere as Fortnite. I mean, I'm not saying that they're the same game, but I'm saying that to kind of the longevity of a game sometimes does depend on where you put your efforts, and PvP might have been the better way to kind of go to keep the game fresh and keep
PvP,
it kind of,
keep Destiny fresh, bro. What?
So what you're saying is we need to have a Shacks Against the World PvP Fortnite style game in Destiny. Everyone's 100 players on a map, except we're all trying to take down shacks.
Or it's a Trials of Osiris type of setup, and the end boss is going to be shacks, freaking Ikora, and what's the other Titan that's going to PvP? Freaking Saint 14.
You got there. Good job.
Yeah.
Got there in the end.
Well, I didn't know if I wanted to say Saint 14 or Salad Head. I'm not really a fan of Salad Head. I can respect 14, right? Salad Head gets on my nerves.
Salad Head's kind of he's sort of retired, but he's married. He's hanging out with Keitel these days. He's retired now. He's not he's not as active as he used to be. He is also shopping for Bivo.
How good is it going to be when
I need to see the battlefield.
He can have babies. He doesn't have a baby pouch like the rest of our species does.
Yeah, I mean that might have been quite interesting to kind of drop not say 100 Guardians, but maybe like 50 Guardians in the Plaguelands, and you just go at it, and it's a battle royale. And the same with you could have done the Cosmodrome, various different maps, and see how that kind of played out. That might be. That
sounds really fun to try. I would never play that mode, but that definitely sounds fun. And you can have sparrows in it to traverse.
You could. Right? You could have various different things, and you could have the landscape that we've currently got to kind of hide in there. I'm not saying like Fortnite and have building aspects, but you could start off with kind of a base like weapon pack that everybody kind of gets, and then you could go around the battlefield and destroy things, or open like crates, and it could give you like a Galahorn with a couple of shots. So
just make shotguns and hand cannons the absolute rarest things, please.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be very similar to Fortnite. You could explore the battlefield, pick up chests, and the higher grade of the chest gives you a better kind of weapon up to exotics. And like the Galahorn will give you a 2-shot Galahorn. So you could use that and store that. Your armor, you could pick up perks for kind of getting a super or getting a grenade, or exactly the same kind of way that they do it in Fortnite. But I think people now would say you're basically copying Fortnite.
Well, the way I would change that up, I think that's a great idea. But the thing that I would do that would make it more Destiny-driven is, for example, you can pick the loadouts that you'll have dropped, right? So if you're going to get a hand cannon, you have to pick, before you go into a lobby, you have to pick what white hand cannon you want, what blue hand cannon you want, what exotic hand cannon you want, right? And as you go through the field and you unlock the different rarities or whatever, you're not just getting an exotic hand cannon. You're getting your specific role of that exotic hand cannon. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Destiny had kind of gone down the route of Fortnite, do you think it might have worked of putting more effort into the PvP side? Because the only thing I can kind of relate it back to is when we had Destiny 1 and we had the House of Wolves and the Dark Below, and there were those long periods in between, mainly focused on trials and the trials carries, and a lot more kind of focused on the PvP side. And we had more maps coming and things like that. But I felt that it kept Destiny fresher.
Yeah, I mean, it kept people coming back. Because like I'd love to know why we had 2 years of just ignoring PvP as a thing. And it's like, guys, that's what brings people to the game. Like that's what, like if you're surfing through Twitch, unless it's a raid weekend, that's what people are finding about Destiny 2. Like that's the you want to talk about bringing people into the game or getting younger gamers in. But where are they going to find Destiny 2 if not looking at Twitch and seeing people playing Twitch and seeing people play PvP? I mean, PvP has always been, even when it's been neglected, people have always loved it for its gunplay, for the the weapon feel. Like that's always something Destiny's had going for it. But you have to get that in front of gamers to know, for them to know that. Because if they're just hearing the state of Destiny 2, it's sort of perpetually, given every other week. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's terrible. But if you don't bring people into the game, go where the people are. The people are on Twitch. If they're not seeing your game, they're never going to see enough of it to know you have good gunplay to come play it. Like, I'm not saying it needs a battle royale, but like it needs to have, you need to be out there in the world for people to come stumble across this. Because as long as it's had good gunplay, it's also been impossible to bring people into this game going, well, you could start somewhere, but I don't know where to tell you to start because all my knowledge is 6 years old and they've changed everything. And Bungie has no idea where to tell you to start because they had one crack at it and never went back to it.
Well, I mean, they've had a bunch of good ideas even coming in from their other studio game that we're not going to mention here. They could have brought some of those ideas without copywriting, into this game. Like just something as simple as creating your own PvP maps. I think would have done a lot of good for the game. Because one of the biggest complaints I hear from the PvP side is there's not enough maps.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that one aspect, barring any other game mode, any other thing, any other whatever in PvP, I think would have done a lot for the game.
Yeah, it's like we said before, like double down on the evergreen content, double down on the stuff that'll be good in your game this year, next year, and 3 years from now, and not so much the limited time. Oh, this activity will be around for 3 months, which everybody who's a capital G gamer will play for 2 weeks and get bored with because they've done it all 8 hours a day. And the rest of us are going, yeah, it was fine, but now I'm also bored with this. Give me the stuff I can go play forever. And they didn't. It was here's a new limited time activity. You play for 3 months and then it never comes back. And that's where a lot of the time and money and resources were spent. And going, oh great, well now all this stuff is gone. What do I do now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because it's one of the first, like, what do they call it? Evolving games, where the game changes over time to keep people interested and whatnot. And then it became so much of a staple that now when people don't get fresh content soon enough, it makes the game look bad because they're not pumping out content like they should be, And if they had just stayed a one pump chump kind of thing, like here's Destiny 1, play the game, cool. Here's Destiny 2, play the game, cool. Here's Destiny 3, play the game, cool. Here's Marathon, play the game, cool, right? If they'd have been pumping out, I don't know, different games instead of trying to make these 2 games last for as long as they did, that could have also been another thing, but making an evolving game, they've raised the expectations of their customer base and wasn't able to keep up with it for the most part. They do good content, don't get me wrong, but it's just they put the expectation there that everybody's always going to have new stuff all the time, and when it didn't happen, people got upset.
Yeah, and I do wonder why they keep Destiny 1 still going on servers. Is it because they want people to kind of jump into Destiny 1 or go back to Destiny 1 to kind of learn about Destiny and the lore and things like that, to kind of give them a kind of basis to then move over to Destiny 2? Because we all know the onboarding for Destiny 2 has kind of been, they've tried, and then they've just gone, here's a box of stuff to get you up to power level, just go and destroy the witness. And that's it.
Just go destroy the witness.
But that's basically, I mean, they've tried to get people interested into the game, but it's very hard to get your friends that, if you've been playing like us since day one and you've got friends coming in and going, I've got an Xbox, I've got a PC, you play Destiny, let's play Destiny together. And it's like, yeah, where do we start from? Even as experienced gamers, it's very hard to explain to people all the different kind of things that happen in the game. I mean, they could be well versed in this kind of genre of game, but it's still quite hard to onboard people into the game and then keep them happy to play the game. I think once players do get over that initial hurdle of kind of finding the game and getting into it, it then becomes, as a new player, it must be amazing to have exotics just raining from the skies, to have all these different game modes, all these different planets to kind of explore, all these different kind of things to do. Mm-hmm. Whereas veteran Guardians are the ones that are saying, right, we've been here for 10 years. I think it's time that we go and play something else, because they're not giving us PvE content every single day, which is what's kind of upsetting some of them. They're like, 10 years, we're done. We're not going to be back for your episodes and things. For the majority of like the content creators that I've seen that are kind of moving away and moving into other games. I mean, my YouTube used to be a kind of list of Destiny players and all these people that used to do Destiny content, and now it's kind of First Descendant. It's you name the new kind of hotness, and it's that. And
I do play the other game that you mentioned quite a bit, and it's a fun game. And there were people saying that it was not going to be a Destiny killer, But
there's been so many Destiny killers.
I said they're not saying that, but there has been comments about it being a Destiny replacement. Because if Destiny does go down the drain, what would you play instead? Well, people have been saying this, right? So that's the difference. It's not going to come out and it's going to overwrite Destiny. But if something happens to Destiny, this is something that I think a lot of people would fall back to, and a lot of people have been telling me to play Once Human. To the point where I've downloaded it. I haven't played it. I don't know what it's about, but apparently a lot of people are saying if I like Destiny, I'll like Once Human, for whatever that means, right? So, yeah, I mean,
I don't think, to be honest, Sony's going to let Destiny go down the drain.
Why not?
Because it's been a money maker.
Yeah. Well, they don't need to keep the game running to do other things with the IP, right? So how long have we been talking about a movie or a TV series or, fill in the blank? The Destiny IP can be used for a lot of things. There's a lot of rich lore that Sony now has the rights to.
But does anybody care without the game?
Well, yeah, I do. If the game went out and they said, hey, Destiny 2 is coming out with a TV series that's going to go into the lore, or it's going to talk about the backstory of Shin Malphur or how Ikora became a guardian, things like that, absolutely would. I'm also a lore geek, so I don't know if I share the same view as everybody else, but yeah, why not? Dude?
Us as players, yes, but if you didn't play, like if Destiny does go away, or if they do, ramp it down, whatever, maybe it's still there, but it's greatly pared down from what it is now. And they do, put a show up, a movie out, whatever. I feel like a lot of that purpose would be to drive people back toward the game, back into the world. Whereas if you just have, the show or whatever, and the game is, there but barely worth playing, or whatever the reason may be, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be a hard sell to get people into, unless it's just like a standalone. I'll use a Fallout show as an example. You could go into that without really ever touching a Fallout game or knowing Fallout was a game and still enjoy the world they built. If they can build an experience like that, that'll be worth it. If it's things like, I won't even say Halo because I didn't even use Halo as the basis for Halo, but if they built this with a rich, you have to go in with knowledge of that world, I don't know if it'll be the success they need it to be. I mean, I still 1,000% want to live in the Destiny world. But if they're, if they need to grow the IP or grow the game or, get more people into this world, I don't know if that's the way to do it, especially if the game's in a terrible spot. I don't know. I want it, but I don't know if they want the same things we want.
No. But yeah, I feel that they still need to invest more into PvP. PvP, I think, should have been the way that they go and the way that they continue to kind of get people interested in playing the game. Because if you're, like you said, if you're on Twitch and you're seeing this fantastic game with all these kind of amazing weapons and these supers that are kind of just so unique to the game, it will draw you into it, and you'll probably turn a blind eye to some of the kind of poor onboarding of new players to Destiny. I'm hoping that at some point that they go back and have a look at kind of getting people interested in playing from the beginning and onboarding new players. But who knows?
I mean, if I'm Sony, I feel like that's where I would want to put a decent amount of resources toward, we have this IP. It's been running for a long time. There's a ton of content there. There's a rich world there. The problem is, like I said, everyone who's played this game has played it for a decade and is aging out and getting older. For all the reasons we say where it's harder to find time to play. If you need to bring younger people in and new players in, you need to have a good experience to get them in the door. Even if it's just come in and play PvP and ignore half the PvE stuff. I mean, that's also an onboard into Marathon potentially. You're building a PvE only or a PvP only game. You need to remind people Bungie exists and get them in the door to a Bungie, to the Bungie world. Again, none of us are developers, but it's this is a world we would love to see do better.
I think we're forgetting that when Sony first came on, I don't remember if it was Bungie that said it or Sony that said it, but they said they wanted to learn from the Bungie team how to make this kind of game, right? So,
and that didn't go great.
Well, we don't know that.
No, we do know that. There have been a number of projects and I don't remember all of them on top of my head, but there have been like 4 or 5 different projects that have been canceled or tried and failed that were live service style games that just didn't take off, because you really need to have a big fan base to keep that live service game going. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a failed experiment, but I'm going to say Sony probably didn't have the success with the whole live service genre they were hoping for.
Well, what I was getting at is, especially with all these people moving to different teams, right? We don't know what they're coming out with. They might have a Destiny-style game in the works. Maybe the first couple of iterations failed, and maybe that's why they're moving people around. But we don't know.
No, because I feel that with all the layoffs, that somebody would have said something if there was something being developed. Somebody
would say, signed an NDA.
Yeah, but they can be very. Most of these people have signed NDAs, but they've still spoken to people that have kind of kept their, like, whatever they've told the press very anonymous. So it could have easily been leaked if there was a Destiny 3.
I really want to know what the Gummy Bear project was. I'm very curious what Bungie's Gummy Bear project was.
Well, that's the only one that's still going, isn't it?
Gummy Bear.
Yeah, I mean that's the one. At least I think that's the one that they spun out into the smaller, into the separate Sony studio. The 40 people or whatever working on that.
I am wondering what the Destiny 2 Frontiers that's going to happen after we've had the 3 lots of episodes is going to be. Is it going to be a kind of soft reboot for Destiny 2? Is it going to be, I mean, if you imagine, like, you can still play Destiny 2 the same way that you can play Destiny 1, but Destiny 2 Frontiers kind of, you can boot it up as a separate game and it kind of takes you to a different frontier. You're away from the Cosmodrome, you're away from the tower. And again, we've got like limited armor, limited weapons that we've kind of gone to wherever we're going to kind of go. And it is that kind of soft reboot for Destiny 2. So they don't have to bring all that baggage that they've kind of left. They could leave all of that in Destiny 2, but Destiny 2 Frontiers, they can then build like
Destiny Star Trek,
a Destiny 3-ish kind of game. They have a point where they can just cut you off and say, right, you can load into the main game of Destiny 2 and you can play all the Destiny 2 content. But as soon as you kind of click that you're kind of going into the Frontiers thing, you warp ahead into wherever you kind of go, but you can't take any of the other stuff with you. We have to find new stuff.
You have to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
And then that way they could say, right, maybe some of the subclass things don't seem to work at this point. We kind of need to put some beacons down to kind of, we need to work with the tower, and it's going to take like a year or 2 to kind of get these beacons up and running to then funnel the traveler's powers and all the light and dark. So that's another way for them to kind of go, oh, by the way, you now 6 months down the line, you can have this part of your prismatic working again, or you can have this part of your strand, or this part of your arc, whatever. That could be one way that they're kind of dealing with the over bloatedness of the Destiny 2 kind of having to kind of juggle all of those different things. There's, as I said, like a soft reboot, it kind of shoots you off somewhere else. But
and give them a chance to retool the underlying parts of this game on something that's not, a decade plus old.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but again, it goes back to they have access to the IP now, right? So they can go back and do a game about how whatever species of people the Witness came from, right? How they, came in contact with the Traveler, how the Traveler helped them to prosper, and then how they tried to use the Traveler to do things the Traveler didn't want to do, and he dipped out. We could go into the Fallen, the rise and fall of the Fallen, or the Elixni. If I've seen people get offended by calling them Fallen, legitimately. So whatever. But yeah, you can have like their rise and their fall. We have so many stories about so many Guardians in the game. They have access to the IP. They can do a ton of stuff with it, even in the game world. Destiny 3, for all we know, could be, humans during the Golden Age. And we have to go find, the warlords that are, taking over cities and eliminate the warlords, in like a Far Cry style of game. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It doesn't have to be Destiny 2 specifically, that they keep just, no.
The
pulse is fading, give it, 3 cc's of epi and prepare to shock kind of thing, If it's gonna die, let it die. Build something new with the IP that you own.
The funny thing is that you say that. I mean, I want to compare it to. I know we don't normally talk about other games, but Gears of War. So Gears of War has kind of gone down this path of, again, it started with Epic, and then Epic, let the rights continue with Microsoft, and then there was a coalition studio where I think it was Ron. I can't remember his surname now. It's gonna kill me. But somebody from the original team. It wasn't Cliff Bleszinski, who was kind of the original creator of Gears. It was one of the kind of guys that started Gears of War 1, kind of went with him. And he took over the Coalition studio and gave us Gears of War 4 and then Gears 5. And they've kind of gone down this path where you had to make a choice at the end of the story campaign that one of the characters had to die. And it's kind of left them this conundrum of what do they do for the next game? So you know what they've done for the next game? They've gone back in time to before the first game. So we've got the original characters, which were the two of the most beloved characters. We've got Dom and Phoenix.
Dom died? Wow. Even I know who that guy is, and I don't play Gears.
No, what are you talking about?
Well, you said one of the main characters died, and then you said they go back in time.
No. In Gears 5. So you had to make a choice in Gears 5. This character or this character. So it's kind of left Gears 6 in a kind of conundrum of, well, we've now got to kind of do two storylines on this. You know what? We'll put that on the back burner. We're going to go backwards in time, and we're going to give an origin story of Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago, and kind of tell how they kind of got involved and bring back the Locusts and things. So it's a bit like you said, they've kind of brushed everything under the carpet for now. We kind of leave that there. We'll come back to that, but we're going to kind of go back in time, give you something that you kind of make you interested in. So, similar things could happen with Destiny. They could go, like you said, go back when the Traveler first arrived. We could have Warlords. The guns, the armor that we currently have now wouldn't be in the game, but it would still be that kind of beloved franchise. It would still have kind of characters that we know, but in a different way. I think that would be quite interesting as well.
And if we're going back in time, we can get access to the Zalo Supercell again.
Not that far back in time, no.
Come on! Give me the damn gun!
I mean, you can have the gun anytime you want, Respawn. You just have to put in the Destiny 1. No. Yeah, I sort of had the same thought. Like I wonder if, other than keeping the game online, like Destiny 1, just obviously they're not actively working on it. I just wonder if there's some shared dependency between D1 and D2. Basically why this many years later are you keeping D1 online? I'm sure there's a few people that play it, but I'm sure the numbers are not high enough to justify keeping it around. So I really wonder, is it one of those things where we can untangle the two, but it's more trouble than it's worth? But if we just leave it online, then yeah, we can, it's not really costing us anything. I don't know. I really wonder about that. Just why it
we
remains
don't know what
online.
they're doing with the old game. If they have server upkeep and they're still doing patches and they're doing fixes and whatnot, that'll cost time and manpower.
Very little. Because they do mention it when they bring all the servers down. They'll say Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Every now and again it'll be we're bringing Destiny 1 down to fix something or other, but. There's certainly no there's no improvements going on. It's basically keep the thing running, which in a live service game there's enough variables and whatever. Just keeping things running is an ongoing task. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a small but very dedicated, or maybe they're using it as a test bed, or maybe It's I don't know. It's curious to me. Again, I'm not a game developer. I don't know the whys or hows of any of this, but it just seems interesting of. Why have this thing still online? Or is it, hey, you sold enough things, there's enough people playing that it's
it's got to have some player base
luring them in.
It's got to.
And the name I was looking for was Ron Ferguson, who was who took over kind of Black Tusk Studios and the Coalition, but he started kind of with Cliff Bleszinski at Microsoft and Epic Games, and now he's moved on to Diablo. He's the general manager over on Diablo 4. He's at Blizzard.
Oh, that explains a lot. I'm joking. Oh goodness, but yeah, Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a new version of the game that isn't Destiny
may
2
get that.
specifically, And I don't want marathon. I don't want an extraction shooter. I want the same type. I want the same genre of game, right? I want the Destiny 2 play style. I just want to see more about the story. I want different weapons. I want, different areas from what we have right here,
Yeah.
I just want something new. I want the same play style. I just want to see it done in a different place with different weapons and different people.
You just want your Destiny 2 dating sim like we all did.
I mean,
the reason I bring all this up is because I think we may get to see something at Gamescom, which is coming soon. I can't remember when it's actually going to be around. Let's have a look. Gamescom.
Isn't it like the 29th or something?
Sorry?
I was just guessing. I thought I heard it was the 29th, but I'm probably way off.
21st, it looks like.
21st? Okay.
Yeah, 21st to the 25th of August. So next weekend.
Okay, so soon.
Yeah. We may hear something from Sony or even Bungie about what's happening with Frontiers. It's a long shot, but then I also, when listening to the Last Word podcast, Ibontis was doing it by himself this week. There wasn't kind of any real Destiny talk, but it was like he did kind of give an insight. Apparently Gamescom are doing something. They're doing their main thing in Germany, as they always do, but then they're also doing something in Los Angeles as well. So they could, Bungie could go there. It's a lot closer, but yeah, there's always sometimes there are kind of these sneaky things that they kind of drop at these things. I don't think there'll be anything at GCX, which is this current weekend, because I think we probably would have heard it, and all the content creators would have kind of been in a little tiz because it'll have been, we're down here, we can't report on it properly, and
8v8 Sparrow Control is what we're getting at GCX. Which if that's a thing, they're going to bring to the game fully, we're closer to my dreams of a big team battle. Getting closer every day.
So should we talk about this week in Destiny for the 15th of August, as it is a very tiny TWAB this week?
You're not doing the patch notes first?
No,
if you really want to, we can, but no, we can do the 12 first.
It's just what y'all usually do. I got the page open, and I'm just like, one of the
mains
you're going to skip over. I see how it is.
Messed with him. Oh, bless him. He's like, he's actually prepared this week. I know what they're normally doing, and now we've curveballed him.
Yeah, you don't want to. That's fine. I don't want to do it anyway.
I didn't say I didn't want to. I still want to tell other people about the stuff. But I was saying, let's start with this week, because there's not much apart from getting ready for GCX. Zer's got new exotic offerings. Aisha's Care is back in Trials of Osiris. And have you seen their skateboard?
Not getting ready.
Oh, yeah.
Excited for offerings. Aisha's Care is a wonderful scout rifle, so if you don't have one, it's worth at least collecting one. And yes, I've seen the skateboard, but I am far too large and grew up on gravel, so skating has never been part of my life. The end.
I'm always gonna wonder why they haven't brought back the Scholar yet for Trials. The Scholar was the first scout rifle back in, I can't remember it must have been the first couple of seasons that they had it, and then it's just never come back.
Because scout rifles haven't been the meta ever.
Listen, the person responsible for putting the Scholar into rotation left and took the Scholar with him. He's like, no, we're done. I'm bringing it with me. You don't get to have it anymore. It's mine now.
But yeah, Peroty is right. We are getting 8v8 Sparrow Control. So in honor of GCX going live, they wanted to give everyone attending something new to play. And tomorrow, they are turning on a new experimental Crucible Labs version of Sparrow Control. So it's already here. It's here this weekend. You can play it now. You can go and look at it. It's in Crucible Labs. It just says Sparrow Control. It doesn't say 8v8 Sparrow Control. So you may kind of just, if you're not used to this kind of thing, that Bungie kind of don't actually write what it actually is, or tell you that there's a drop-down node beforehand, you're not sure. So
and there's double Crucible drops, and there's increased Crucible rank. And matchmaking does not utilize skill. Oh yeah, yep, the one of 16.
It doesn't utilize skill. I disagree.
That's what it says. I mean, with 16 people. And see, honestly, that's part of why I wanted the. I mean, again, I don't want a battle royale because that's just not my That's my thing. I am too old and too slow to be a battle royale shooter. But throw me into a big, Battlefield-esque war zone, and I can just have fun with that. With 16 people on a map, I don't have to be good. I just have to, vaguely contribute to my team to feel good about myself. That's all I want. I just want to run around and cause, chaos and mayhem. And with 16 people, that sounds great. Now, watch them put us on the smallest of maps only.
Smallest of maps with the tanks.
Yeah. I feel this is a jumping off point because if enough people play it and like it, they may bring back things like First Light from Destiny 1, the map. That would be quite interesting because it's already in Destiny 2. We kind of have it as one of the moon missions. The initial opening section of the moon mission is in kind of that First Light area. So it would make sense to bring kind of that back. But,
a lot
apparently
of things would make sense, but
it's a highly experimental mode, as we have never tried to cram as many Guardians into one Crucible match before. So things could get a little hairy, and they'll be monitoring the stability and may turn it off if necessary. And if you can't play this weekend that it was currently up, don't worry. You will have another chance to test the experimental mode again for 2 weeks, starting on August 27th. So this isn't going to be until the new episode Act 3 drops in like a week and a bit's time. So yeah, we've got one more week of Solstice before we can kind of get to that.
Okay, so after Solstice it comes back. So if you did miss it this weekend, because if I weren't here sitting recording a podcast with you, lovely gents, I would have missed it this weekend. And would have looked at this and gone, oh, look, that I should go play that thing. Oh, it happened already. Whoops.
I'm not sure if it's just going to be here until the Tuesday reset, because I'm guessing that's what they mean by it, or if it's only available while GCX is up, which I think they finished today. Today's the last day. I think it was Friday and Saturday, as far as I can tell.
16th and 17th. So it ends today. So my guess is they'll try to keep it up maybe till Tuesday, assuming it doesn't go off the rails entirely and fall over. But as
a lot of assumptions, Peroty.
As they haven't really told anybody except in the TWAB, there's no, there was no pop up in the game or anything. And
again, we discussed the pop up guy's been sacked. Pop up guy's been sacked. Or Gale.
Yeah, he's been sacked, and also like you said, going and looking at Sparrow Control, there's no indication that the Crucible Labs is anything different until it starts saying of 16 people, and you're going, oh, well that's a lot of people. All right, friends, welcome to Vostok. Bring the whole family.
And then our good old friend Zer, he's getting his wares updated as from next Friday. So apparently they've heard the feedback about the exotic class items loud and clear. So there's going to be more ways to get it in the Pale Heart, isn't there, Bungie? That's what you heard. The more ways? No? Hang on. We're just receiving this. You can just go and get a couple. Oh, okay. You can go and get a couple from Zer when he brings them with his wares every couple of weeks. Because it's not going to be every week that they're going to be available. But starting next week with Zer, he's going to be able to give you a random rolled exotic class item, the ones that we've all been farming for in the Pale Heart, for 41 strange coins. So you should be able to pick up 2 each week from him, if you've got enough strange coins, that is, because I think you can hold up to 97, is it correct?
99. That's all.
There you go. Something like that. So 2 a week, and then he's not guaranteed to bring them every week, but he will next week, definitely, on the Friday. They say definitely, but I wouldn't take that as gospel.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And if you haven't visited Zer to get your free strange coins, I mean that'll basically pay for your lovely new exotic class item.
3 then if you've already got that. That's
good. But also, and you do need to have the class item unlocked. So you need to have run dual Destiny once successfully to have the class item available.
Successfully.
Yes. You can't just go in there and go, I've run it, but I didn't complete it.
Yeah. I mean, you just like everything else, you have to have it unlocked in the game
for each character as well.
No, you don't need your other characters. Just the one that you're working on. And
then is it each character? I didn't know that. I haven't done it with the other 2 to know.
Yes, it's each character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's per character because it's a different class item. And then if you don't have it unlocked, he will offer you, as I'm looking forward in the thing.
The alternative is an exotic cipher, which will cost 79 strange coins, and will be limited to 1 per account, which doesn't mean anything because it's not an exotic class item. It just means you can have a cipher instead.
Well, I'd appreciate that since I have all the class items and none of the ciphers.
You don't have all 69 rolls or whatever, 64 rolls.
The cipher you do need to buy. If you rank Rahul up enough to unlock your brand new exotic, you do need the exotic cipher to buy that the first time to unlock it. So if you were foolish and didn't choose the rocket chest on Titan, now you can buy it from Rahul and go. I need an exotic cipher, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but there's no Titan that would have chosen something that wasn't the rocket chest. I mean, honestly,
nobody would have done that because nobody saw that and was like, "This sounds decent, but it might be garbage," because you could never tell. And then Bungie goes, "Haha, just kidding. You made the wrong choice, foolish boy."
Yep. So yeah, random roll each time that you spend your strange coins. So you could get the same 2 rolls back to back because Bungie aren't.
You can?
Well, of course you can.
No. You're most likely to get the same rolls.
Yeah. So what I would do is purchase 1, walk away, go and play the game, and then come back later before he disappears and purchase another one. Because I always find that if you kind of give a couple of engrams or pick up engrams from if I'm doing Iron Banner, it'll give me the same weapon, slightly different, and the same perks. I'm like, oh, I should have walked away.
Can I confirm that Sparrow Control is insane, and I like it, and I wish to play more of this.
Are you playing it now?
I am. With my 7 best friends and my 7 least best friends who are trying to kill me. It is exactly
8 least best friends trying to kill you?
No, one of them is absolutely just standing idle. There's someone just doing this and has wandered away somewhere.
So the trials update for this week.
Have y'all played?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
No, because I haven't had my fire team at 3 to go in with to guarantee drops, even if we suck horribly.
Well, maybe we should do that in a second. But the adept version of the Aisha's Care will be back this weekend for those who go flawless during the weekend, or use their passage of persistence with their 3 friends or their 2 friends, and now losses won't remove that win from if you do kind of get that win. So that's quite cool. Yeah. But I think you got a bit mixed up because I was getting a bit mixed up. So the Aisha's Care is the pulse rifle. So the Aisha's Embrace is the scout rifle, which was void.
You're right.
So the Aisha's Care is the pulse rifle, which is a strand pulse rifle. It can have Alacrity, 1 Quiet Moment, and Omolon Fluid Dynamics with Hatchling, Kill Clip, Collective Action, Desperado, Golden Tricorn, Head Seeker, and Moving Target with Keep Away, Zen Moment, Slice, Gunshot Straight, Encore, To the Pain, and Under Pressure. And this is a heavy burst, fires a hard-hitting 2-round burst, slightly reduces flinch from incoming fire whilst aiming. And yeah, that's available this weekend and back in the loot pool. So if you don't get an adept one, it'll be there with Saint to go, hey, can I throw these engrams at you and get one? So that's cool.
Yep, I absolutely made the same mistake you did.
Yeah.
Aisha, I was too busy embracing Aisha to care.
Yeah. But I didn't make a mistake when they told me the Shariah's Wrath, which is the submachine gun, is going to be up next weekend. So if you're live listening to us next weekend, when we have the podcast, that's when the Shariah's Wrath submachine gun, which is the beast in PvP, will be available in trials with Sirius Plaza as the map.
Is that a good thing?
Well, people like that one. It's one of the new ones.
Is it?
Yeah. That's starting on August 23rd. So they've heard your feedback about the smaller maps being available in 3v3 modes. So that's going to be there.
Yes, that was some of my major feedback. Yes. I'm glad they've.
So did you give them feedback about a skateboard though? Because they're in their.
Are you talking about the Are We from last week? That skateboard?
No.
The literal skateboard in the TWAB for this week. It has a limited run of 1,000 units being made, each of which is uniquely numbered. It's the Bear Walker.
It doesn't have Gate 6. I don't want it. I'm good.
It's got 100. It could be Gate 6.
Yeah, it's got Hunter, Titan, and Warlock on there.
That's not Gate 6. That is generic Guardian Hunter number 1.
Guardian 0001.
Right.
So if you're interested in getting one, know that you have to first complete the Fuel for the Fire 3rd event challenge in Destiny 2 by August 27th at 9:50 a.m. PDT on the 27th of August 2024. The product is available now and can be ordered until November 5th, 2024 at 9:59 PDT. And you visit the Bungie store to find out more.
Wow, that's only $90? I don't know how much decks usually go for, but I mean, if they charge $150 for a raid ring, I thought this deck would have been way more than $90.
Yeah, and they do say, it is only the deck, so you do need to buy, the rest of the hardware.
I wouldn't even buy the hardware. I would just hang this on the wall, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. But I was saying, if you do want to use it as a skateboard, Bear Walker, who is the one, company making these, they have one with a koi on it too. They'll sell you the other hardware for it. Or just put it on your wall and say, this is beautiful. Look, it's lovely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always wonder, like, how many people of the 1,000, how many of these will ever have wheels applied or see a street or anything else, and how many of them are going directly onto walls and going, this is an art piece and it's beautiful.
I would hope all of them would go on the wall. I mean, I'm no skater, but if I get like a limited edition thing like that, I wouldn't want to ruin it, especially with the whole grinding, ruining the paint and everything, or breaking it in half and you bop in another region. Nah, I'm good. No, just put it on the wall, bro.
And it's even more limited if you use it. It's got wear and tear. Using the Olympics 4 years from now.
Right. Back
to that tab where we've got things broken, we got things fixed. Let's see. Oh, they did. I don't even have a little jaunty sentence to say to Respawn this week, and him to be confused by. I'm a little disappointed.
They fired that person now. Yeah. We asked for them to kind of confuse Respawn. We've confused Respawn this week with jumping straight ahead into the TWAB, and now they confused you.
Yeah, they somebody don't give me my little fun sentence. That's okay. So this week we're continuing to investigate the various known issues. Here's a list of them. Go to the help forum. It's there as always. But particularly this week they want to call out that the Flamekeeper event challenge does not count toward completing the Solstice Triumph, blocking players from unlocking the Reveler title. Your Solstice armor glows do not appear on multiple Trials armor sets. Unlocking the Solstice armor sets via armor synthesis prior to earning the associated glows will cause the glows to appear on the unlocked ornaments if they are later earned. They are looking to address this in a future update. Players can expect to access the base and white glow versions of the armor for appearance customization via armor synthesis in the future. So as always, the armor synth is always a little screwy on these. Guardians may fail to load in the accommodation screen after completion of Crucible matches. Bungie. Dear sweet Bungie, and this is the last known issue on the list, but are you telling me now, just now, you're telling me that the Guardians may fail to load in the accommodation screen after the completion of Crucible matches? I don't remember a time where Guardians have ever on the Xbox Series X loaded properly on the accommodation screen after a Crucible match or a Game of Match or anything else. So I'm happy this has finally made it to someone's attention. I'm pleased, but I'm a little bit like, just now are we noticing this? So I mean, I guess I can't be upset that hey, someone's finally acknowledged it. That one day I may be able to actually see the people I played matches with. Because this has been existing since you built the system. So I'm happy to see it getting some attention. Maybe, hopefully. Anyway, I don't understand anymore. So yeah, and the other known issues they link to are in the known issues article. There's obviously a lot more things than they talk about every week, but if your particular known issue is not been mentioned or mentioned for the first time and you're like, yay, then here you go. And then there's some lovely art of the week of Saint 14 and Osiris. And we have a video of the week of the base cover of Six Illuminants, something with the new strike or something. I don't know. There's video, there's art. Go listen to it, go look at it. It's lovely. And the new Voibo has lots of great perks, and we are not stopping until we get the classic repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds combo. And let's not forget about the something new with precision instrument and kill clip. Hunters using Mask of Bacchus will be eating good with this one.
Oh yeah.
See you around, PG community team.
I have got an update for Gamescom though. Ooh. Apparently, I didn't check my facts on this. Sony are skipping Gamescom this year.
Ooh.
But that doesn't necessarily mean Bungie will.
Are they going to have their own thing? Because I feel like that's the. I feel like every company
I've tried to look down the kind of list
have their
of
own
things.
thing and be like, we're going to have our own thing. Because why would we want to be at a thing everyone else is looking at?
Yeah, I don't know. So we may not find anything out about Frontiers. We may get something at the end of August because I feel that, heading into episodes 2 and not knowing anything, we should know something. But then that's only going on what they normally do. But
yeah, I mean, at some point we're going to see the hype trailer for, the next thing that they've, because if the next episodes and stuff they already have built, they've already worked on. There was someone that went 25-0 in an 8v8 match. Sorry, my brain just reset for half a second. I don't know who Funbrion is, but this person just went 28-0. So matchmaking is still working great. In case you're wondering, with 8v8 Sparrow Control. Sorry,
there's no skill in it. So just so you know.
Yeah, no, I can tell you there is no skill because the other team was like 0.4s only. So yeah, Crucible still matchmaking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at some point, Bungie's going to drop the hype trailer for the thing they've already built that, we're going to be seeing. It's just a matter of, do they do that as part of a bigger Sony thing? Do they do that as their own thing? Who's pulling the wheels and driving Bungie
they
these
don't
days?
Have their own thing anymore, bruh.
Well, I mean, they still have the building. They still have all the, presumably the people who run the live streams and things. If they haven't been shoveled off into Sony, in which case Sony has people presumably that run live streams and things. So I mean, they will. Of all the people that Bungie has, I'm pretty sure the people who create all the hype for the game, I would hope that they're safe, because that's probably the most consistent part of the Bungie experience, is getting people excited for the next thing, whatever the next thing happens to be.
Next thing is going to be Final Fantasy Destiny Edition.
Dating sim. Where's my Destiny dating sim? That's
look. I mean, drop it. You're not gonna get it. It's enough. That's.
Oh.
But I do work on the cheap Bungie. If you want to kind of tell me what the rotations are ahead of time, or I could, somebody could send me an email and I could practically work for free. Basically, I could junior associate or something.
We'll work for views, is what Nidedemon's saying.
Basically,
let them know what's actually going to happen to some level of correctness, and sprinkle some secret text in the TWAB next week's about what's happening for Nitedemon to pick up on. Mm-hmm.
Now, does Respawn have a Respawn's report roundup this week, Peroty? Have we prepared one? Have we prepared him with anything this week?
No, because it was basically, unless you want to have him do a dramatic reading of people showing pictures of other people at GCX. Bungie was basically like, we broke names. We put a fix in to stop the names from being broken, but if your name is already broken, I think they're basically going to issue, name change tokens to everybody again at some point to say, if you were affected by this, here's a token to change your name again. They fixed it so it's not still happening. Yeah. I mean, somebody else could be ZK Mushroom though.
Yeah, if they're quick enough,
you could be ZK Mushroom. Yeah, basically they fixed that, and that was like the extent of the updates this week of, hey, people couldn't log in. Hey, people's names have been changed, but there wasn't really any other news on that front.
That's a money-making opportunity, actually. If you can get like some of these YouTubers' names that have built around that name, and you change your name to that name.
Give him an idea. He's going to try and run with it. Well, Respawn, I know you were so excited about telling us about what the Destiny 2 update 8.0.5.1 was earlier. Would you like to tell us now? Now is your time to shine.
Well, damn, now that I've closed the window, yeah, I'd love to tell you.
Tell me all about that Trials goodness and the inevitable Salvation's Edge fixes.
Okay, Trials of Osiris fixed some issues where some players were unable to access the trials despite having the latest expansion. Raisin Dungeon, Salvation says, fixed an issue where completing the substratum encounter with all Warlock Fire Team was not counting towards the Unified Front Triumph. Man, they are just pooping on Warlocks this season, aren't they?
Yeah, they fixed it. Nobody's pooping.
But like
keep the feces to yourself. Nobody's pooping.
Bungie was until they fixed it. Fire Team Finder fixed an issue in Fireteam Finder where listings created for Grandmaster Nightfalls could launch you into a different Nightfall. That's not a bug, it's a feature. Okay?
Yeah, Nightfall Roulette.
That's right. Pathfinder, reduce Gambit Big Game Hunter objective completion value to 1. Yes. Okay.
That's when we have to get all the motes, isn't it?
I think so. Fix an issue where melee and grenade kill objective completion values were reversed.
Whoops.
Sorry. Were reversed for the lower and higher tier variants. Fix an issue where elemental ability kill objectives were missing text. And fix an issue where the Solstice keepsake memento would not drop if a player was already holding one. Now, the Solstice keepsake will continue to drop until the player has 3 in their inventory. Fix an issue where the description of the Solstice Ghost projection, fireworks projection, did not note that it's subclass reactive. Fix an issue where the store tile icons for the aggressively affirmative confident strut and raise the roof emotes were not appearing with correct art. And in general, they fixed issues that caused the Ghost Shell 9 shell to glow extremely brightly when certain shaders were applied. Why would you fix that? People like those kinds of things. People get that intentionally. You're nerfing yourself when you do that, Bungo. Why would you do that? Whatever. Don't matter.
Unrelatedly, oiled algae is available for sale for brightness this week in the store. Yeah. If you want to be so bright nobody can see you when the sun hits you.
Only on certain kind of elements of your armor.
Mm-hmm.
And only on certain elements of just things in general. It glows brightly on some weapons and ghost shells too, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of mementos, I came across this in my inventory this week and I was like, huh? What? How? I've got a fizzled Nightfall memento. I'm like, well, if I earn that, why have you fizzled it? Why can I not put it onto a weapon now?
We earn everything in this game and they get randomly fizzled, brother.
No, I'm not happy it's been fizzled.
You're not happy everything gets fizzled.
Blood, sweat, and tears to get that Nightfall memento. I don't do Grandmasters that often, and now they've fizzled it. I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
That seems very rude of them.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it in my inventory.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming.
I'm just still not sure I've actually seen a single memento from this event drop, and I have no mementos in my inventory. And when I checked the Triumph you needed to get the skateboard deck, of the 100 bonfires I need to bash, I was at 1,100. So I've done a few of these.
1,100 bonfires?
I have no things.
Bruh, I thought you don't have time to play this game.
I'm pretty sure
you've done that encounter 1,100 times, or is it every time the ball hits it?
I'm pretty sure it's every time the ball hits because I definitely have not played this 1,100 times. The Triumph is 100, so it's I'm sure it's throw 100 balls, which is 4 or 5 runs of this.
He's not full out plays. He's not just kind of playing the game over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, I thought fizzling it, the bonfire, is when you build it up and then you put it out. The whole thing. Other than that, you're stoking the bonfire with those power orbs, aren't you?
Yeah, you are.
I'm feeling it. It says, stoke even more flames in the bonfire bash.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So we're stoking. Yeah, so you need to stoke it 100 times. I've stoked it 1,100 5 times.
Gotcha.
And no, we're not doing phrasing.
And I just want to check with you guys. So I've been doing a lot of silverleaf farming and kind of generating the orbs and things. And I found the best place to do this is on the moon, on the Altars of Sorrow, and because you do the different things and you move around. And as soon as you destroy the boss, it kind of gives you a wealth of silver leaves, and you're like, that's amazing. And if you put the orb generation things on your helmet and use certain weapons to kind of generate those orbs, I can do a bounty and a half basically with on just one full run of doing the Altars of Sorrow, and I'm like, this is amazing, it's going so well. And then it's giving me the armor to go off to do the bonfire bash, which I did. It's telling me that I can now apply the ingot so that I can get the glows on it. I'm a bit worried that I'm going to have to do this for every character. Please tell me that I don't have to do it for every character, and once I've done it for one character, it's unlocked for the other two.
Donna's saying no.
I know.
I don't know
I
why
saw
he's
that,
saying
and I'm
no.
like,
He's saying no.
Yeah, I
I haven't actually switched characters since I finished the original quest, and I keep thinking, I'll go back to it and finish it with the Warlock, but then I just haven't. So no way to know.
But I'm feeling that, yeah.
Grind the looter shooter, Nitedemon. They want you to grind. They want to grind you into a fine pace.
I don't have an issue with the grinding and playing the different things. It's
grinding 3 times for the same thing, and you're going.
I'm saying I can do that. I don't mind doing that. I think it's the final boss, Deacon, that is is blocking me from kind of continuing playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
Nitedemon, do me a favor. Okay.
Me?
You don't have to. Yeah. But if Destiny does come out with a new game called Destiny, not called Destiny, but they come out with a new game, please, for the love of everything that is holy in your life, do not mention to Deacon that it is any way related to Destiny. Okay? Because apparently she doesn't mind you playing other games. Destiny is the problem.
Nope.
So, yeah, just if they do come out with another game, call it Marathon, call it whatever. Don't tell her that it's Destiny related. I mean, you do what you want. It's your marriage, it's your whatever, but I'm just saying, like, for the sake of our sanity.
I will.
And then maybe if she doesn't know it's Destiny, maybe she'll like playing it too.
Not true, no.
Anyway.
But I've got a couple of videos things that I can recommend this week. So I will recommend that you go and listen to the Players versus Enemies podcast this week, because they go for a couple of prismatic builds. It's not kind of the end of their prismatic builds. They're going to kind of revisit them once the Titans kind of get buffed. But they do go over a couple of builds for each kind of class. They also go over the Ergo Sum that you kind of want to get for PvE activities. So that's the exotic sword from the Pale Heart, and some really cool roles for that and what to pair it with. And so that was a cool listen to this week. I will also recommend Cool Guy's video going over the best sidearm ever, and that's the Breach Light. And then finally, Kodak, I solo flawless every dungeon, and how you can too. So I've watched.
No, I can't.
I
will tell you, I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
I watched the Shattered Throne. He does it in about 15 minutes.
Is
the full
the
video,
infinite sword build?
No. I mean, he explains it like basically. I feel kind of my masculinity was kind of challenged with him basically saying that the Shattered Throne is kind of meh. It's so easy. Anyone can kind of do it. And I'm like, that took me years, man. That took me years.
To be fair, you have the final boss that's affecting your play too. So, you know.
Not for that. No, it wasn't. It was the ogre, and he said the ogre is the easiest boss in the dungeon. I was like, not for me. It wasn't.
Well, is his solution, without getting into it, character specific, class specific?
No.
Oh, cool, nice.
And he does it so that you kind of new players can kind of get into it and just use the kind of what you can use as a new player, basically.
Solo flawless dungeon with all weight gear, love it.
So what you're telling me is, if I want to feel bad about myself, watch this video and go, look.
No, I felt bad. No, because you can follow it and go, ha, Nitedemon. You told us it was hard and it's easy.
Every time I watch one of these videos, I'm going, you can tell me it's easy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it is for you. For me, though, not so.
Every dungeon. So my next one is going to be the Pit of Heresy at some point. And he does point out that with the Pit of Heresy, we didn't have kind of the consecration, we didn't have kind of the restoration things that we kind of have now in the game with I
think I've done the Pit of Heresy solo flawless.
No,
I thought that was one of the easier ones, honestly.
Yeah.
No, not messing with you. Not messing with you. Legitimately, right? Freaking, it's not that bad, you know? The boss is a pretty straightforward 1v1, you know? All you got, the toughest part about that is probably the witch, killing the witch with the sword, because she's not fun, you know? But other than that, the whole dungeon is
the witches and that end boss I think I could do easily. It's getting around in that maze with the ogres that just don't take any damage that I always used to die with, and then that other bit where you have to kind of stand on the platform and go and get the balls to come back and dunk. That's where would have had issues beforehand, but like with Banner of War and my builds now, it's going to be a little bit easier. So
you realize you have to do it fast too. So the sword build where you're invincible,
you're just adding more pressure to me.
Good.
You're adding more pressure to me.
I'm not adding more pressure, but if you're not in that circle, like for an X amount of time, it wipes the team. So you periodically have to keep going back to the middle to reset its timer.
See? You're adding stress to me already. I already know this.
I'm informing.
No, I know. You don't have to inform me. I'm stressed enough as it is. That is my kind of ogre of that dungeon. I haven't even thought about the other ones. I'm going down the list. I'm looking at that one with the Sparrow racing. I'm like, I can do it when there's 2 other people there, but I know as soon as I start going there by myself, I'm going to not hit all the buttons and I'm going to just explode, and then I'm going to get upset that I haven't kind of soloed it.
Oh, yeah. I believe in you. You can do the Shattered Throne. You can do anything.
Shut up.
I'm just not going to try because I would absolutely just launch myself into a hole or something stupid instead of like getting killed by a boss. I'd be like, well, he can't jump, but he's good at fighting things.
Right.
Have you guys got any videos this week, or is it just kind of plodding along with your Solstice, what you want to kind of get?
I have a video, but I posted the pictures to the video instead of the link to the video. And I couldn't.
Is it a YouTube video? Is it a YouTube short? Because I saw that on TikTok, that one.
Well, it's just no. It was. I don't know how I got it. I'll be honest with you, but it's just like Titans. Titans. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie The Rocket Man. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Not the one about the singer. The one about the guy that actually has a rocket strapped to his back. Right?
Yeah. Rocketeer.
Rocketeer. That one. Thank you.
No, but the picture. No, but the picture you've posted is of Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but he also strikes me as the Rocketeer, though.
No.
You know.
That's very much Star-Lord.
Sart.
Yeah. The picture posted was 100% Star-Lord.
Bruh, Star-Lord got his look from the Rocketeer anyway. Okay.
Well, that may be, but that was absolutely Star-Lord that you posted. And 55 others, only not because you posted a picture. So I'll never know what the other 54 of them were.
Well, no, that's part of the video. Yeah. No, I watch him. I've subscribed to him after we talked about him, 2-3 weeks ago? 2-3 shows ago? And now I watch...
The Rocketeer.
What?
Subscribe to who?
The guy in the picture. Freaking, I'm trying to find it. What I
can't read the name because you've got that silly writing going on.
It's KRYPZ, Crips. Cripsy.
Okay, Crips. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought I missed who you said, but you just hadn't said it. So now I understand.
But yeah, so no videos, just that one, which I
once you find the link, if you send me the link, I'll put it in the show notes.
I know it. I'll do that right now.
You do that now. And then if Peroty hasn't got anything, he can tell us about the unnamed guardians that we have giving us sponsorship for patronage.
I've got nothing for YouTube this week. It's there, but it's all, hey, we're going to GCX and other games. But you know probably who isn't going to those places are lovely patrons. Like
hashtag Guardian 1, hashtag Guardian 2, and hashtag Guardian 3.
Yeah, Zep Orbit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hashtag 0001. K4 and hashtag our Otter Dance Troupe of Guardian hashtag the T-Rex King, Guardian hashtag the Scarlet KM, Mellow Melly, TWAB hashtag 64, and Renard Calant, our lovely grenade throwers of Golden God 1562. Is it hashtag 1562? No way to know. Noble, our Guardian, Noble 001, basically Salt, Fire Squad 1688, Coderson 105. And Deacon Say One Raid team of Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, and Pee Pipe, who may be that name, or who may be Guardians with hashtags afterwards. There's really no way to know at this point. And we love you, and we thank each and every one of you. You're all wonderful human beings. And that's all for us this week. So thank you for joining us. Your Titans, your Peroty, Nitedemon, your Hunters. No one respawns in real life. You can find this show on YouTube, and this show in its lovely audio form, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm going to point you there because really that's all you need. That's all you need in life. Just listen to us here in your lovely ears while you're working, you're playing the game, you're doing dishes, you're driving around. And then watch the show and all the weekly updates to know what I should buy in the Eververse store, what's coming next, as best as Nitedemon can figure out, because there's no real way to know.
Nope.
And if you've got thoughts, email the show, 2titansanahunter@hotmail.com. And if you're going, now you talk about these videos and you post links in the show notes. Now, if you're using a good podcast player, you should be able just to scroll down under the lovely neon dragons and say, look, all the show notes. If you're using a less good podcast player, 2titansanahunter.com, you can go there, you can get all the show notes for every episode except for the secret ones that Nitedemon doesn't want you to have. And if you want to join the Outer Dance Troupe, throw with a good time, or just appreciate us in monetary ways, patreon.com/TTAH. And if you want the thrill of live action, spicy language, and I'll say often a live version of the show, so you can see just how poor we are at reading words, twitch.tv/no-one-responds in real life, or twitch.tv/2titansanahunter for when the British man streams things Britishly, and then you'll know. And until next week, gents, tell the people goodbye, and we'll see what we have for them next week.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Deuces!
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Squirrel!
You don't have dogs, right?
What?
You don't have dogs, right?
He
I
does
have dogs. I do
You
have
have
dogs.
dogs? You want more?
He provided a dog cam, whereas you did not. So
Why are we getting a squirrel moment about dogs now?
My wife keeps coming and giving me an update, and we currently have 8, and apparently she still has more in her. So,
Okay.
And
Okay.
not a single dog cam. 8
Well,
dogs,
it just
0 dogs.
before the podcast started. She's still giving birth. You want that on cam?
Oh, well, no. Listen, you provided the context you provided, which was little to none. So I worked with the information I had.
It said we currently have 8, and she's still got more in her. I did give context.
Okay. So why did you ask if I had dogs?
I took that to mean
Because I need
Luna
to send people these dogs. I need to give them away.
You can't
This is
send
a lot
it
of
to me,
dogs.
can you? You can't send one to me.
You guys are relationship animals. You put them in a crate with holes. They got food. They get treated very carefully on a plane, and then boom, dog. There you go.
Right.
You're welcome.
Right,
What?
okay. Give them away as prizes.
What's that?
Do a stream and give them away as prizes.
Even split.
I mean, I'm just saying, GCX is going on. If you put those puppies in the car, take them to GCX,
And say,
And
Kate
just-
sent you.
yeah, and just say, listen,
I did it for the puppies.
just say, do it for the puppies. I have provided the puppies.
I have done it
I
for
mean,
the puppies. Here are the
you will-
puppies.
You will have those puppies gone in 45 seconds flat, sir.
Although, to be fair, if I say I've done it for the puppies, that could lead to other subcontext that I'm not willing to explain to
You're
people.
in Florida. It's fine. You're good. No one's going to ask questions.
Even in
Oh,
Florida, that's not a thing. I don't know. I say that. It might be a thing. It's not a thing for me. Okay.